Happy Tuesday, folks. So again, this is our 8th week. Yeah, something like that. 8th week of going live in 4 different places at once. So we've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Rumble, and YouTube to be more efficient and get this information out in front of you, which is also why I've got my candle too. So when you start hearing me say I, me, and all that kind of stuff, it's about you guys, and all graces and glories through God. So he gave me a candle and he said, Albert, I know how passionate you are. I know you're volcanically passionate. I'm going to give you a candle. That's all you get. So that's all I get, guys, is a candle. So that's all each of us get. And I want you guys to be aware. I want you to be aware of the money that you earned. And I hear other roads and paths all the time from you guys, even yesterday. So I'm joining a different American Legion I've been part of, I don't know how many years. And I don't like walking in a room and only seeing old people and the legions and stuff like that. VFWs are dying off, because here's why. We're supposed to help each other, truly help each other. Not, hey, let me light your cigarette for you. Help one another. This says, go help out your buddy, your neighbor, and the people behind him, the youngsters. And what's interesting is when I walk into a room and I start talking about that, it could be a Legion or VFW or whatnot, I start hearing the same evil crap. And I'm calling it out. I will continue calling it out. By the way, I wrote an article. It's published on LinkedIn, and it talks about this. It talks about the VA using Delta style tactics, Delta selection tactics against us. And it's working because we're human. We are service style people. We like to serve. We like to serve our community. But that means that we allow, as a drill sergeant said a long time ago to me, or my group, that don't mistake my kindness for a weakness. We have allowed our kindness to weaken us. Because I'll give you an example. This is why I tell you guys, you have to, number one thing you got to do is align with him, his alignment for you. Our Heavenly Father doesn't move to you. You have to, it's in your smart book, by the way, guys. You guys asked me for a lot of resources. Here's your resources. So here's one of them. And I'll talk about this later. But in the back, there's terms that I use a lot and rules and stuff. And number one is you have to align with him. He is immovable. That's what the chapter says. He is immovable. That means you have to, thankfully, 2 things. One, make the decision to flip a switch and go, yes, sorry, my head was up my ass. Heavenly Father, you take over. And Heavenly Father, you help me take all these burdens off my shoulders, and you carry these burdens, which is what he says. So you have to align with him. And when you align with him, you're also turning off the noise. In the movie, oh gosh, For Love of the Game, the pitcher does that. He's looking directly at the catcher, and it's only he and the catcher, and that's it. And he's clearing out all the mechanism, and all this stuff goes silent. That's how I live my day. And by doing stuff like that and it's through him. Again, I hear myself when I'm saying I and me. It's because I call it focus on focusing. I want to focus on focusing on the money that you have earned for yourself. And I know there's a lot of other story and wisdom of, well, Albert, I was in this ejection seat and I was this kind of fighter pilot, and doesn't the VA know better? I was a Green Beret, doesn't. Guys, if the VA, going back to your book again, your smart book, it says in the back, if the VA paid for drama and trauma, widows would get a big ass check. Let's go over that again. If the VA paid for drama and trauma, why aren't widows getting big ass checks? Ma'am, sorry for the death of your husband. Here's a big check. Widows aren't getting paid that because they should. I agree with that. They should, but they're getting robbed. And that's who you're dealing with, is that evil, as our good book here says, that evil day and night is out there to divide and devour you. So that's what I'm going to tell you about Delta tactics. That this is the only place. I'm going to hold up another flyer here. You guys see it on screen better than I see it in person, so I like that. All right. This candle is here to help light certain ways. You guys have been, to the tune of 5,000 of you a day, are Google searching for this VA calculator. Well, VA calculator over here. every day, 5,000 of you are little Google searching and little G government help me find the truth. You're asking liars to tell you the truth. So problem number one, you're asking liars to tell you the truth. So here's the calculator you guys have been searching for, VA calculator, and it's hilarious. I hate to say it this way, but I'm not funny. I like laughing. So this is, I love AI. It does some really fun stuff. And this one says denied and has a bunch of zeros and NAs on it and stuff. So the VA is using Delta tactics against you. What does that mean? You can go on YouTube and find any Delta guy out there. And I've got some Delta clients, but I'm not throwing any one person's name and information out there. There's plenty of Delta dudes that will tell you that the Delta is the only place when you're going through selection for folks who don't know this means you're trying out. So when you try out for airborne or Ranger School or Sniper School or Green Berets or MARSOC, they are all the instructors. They are allowed to and will, I don't call it take a knee with you, but they'll be honest with you from time to time. And so for an example, they'll say something like, hey, officer guy, you're going to lead us when you're out of here. So stop being a little baby. Stuff like that. Delta guys will not do that. They will talk to you, the Delta instructors. They will only say, do the best you can. Hey, go that way. What's that mean? And they go, do the best you can. And down here, I'm going to have to read this to myself too, because I know it's a little small. So down here, do the best you can, alone, without guidance or help in any way. If you quit, that's your fault. You lose. I'm not going to say, do you feel that way? Because it is that way. As I was talking to a guy about this, he goes, yeah, it feels that way. And I was like, no, it's worse. It is that way. I know it feels that way because it is that way. As it says in the book and the article I just put up there on LinkedIn, that you guys will say to me things, and I have to correct you instantly just to make sure it's accurate because I like truth. And you guys will say things like, "Oh man, it's like a maze," and the VA especially is the system is rigged. And I get how you feel that way. I mean, I've been around for over 6 years delivering tip. I hear myself again. All glory goes to God. He and I have been around for over 6 years, helping deliver $10 billion plus to you deadly humans who don't quit. By the way, that's a great line that I've added in the article. When you guys quit, you quit on yourself. And I can't drag you across the daggum finish line. The VA is not going to pay you if I drag you across the finish line. You have to do it yourself. The VA is going to tell you no, and I guide you and coach you. Hey man, come on, I can't touch it, and I can't do all kinds of other stuff. I don't do the paperwork. I had my clients represented by veterans rights attorneys from the very beginning, which by the way, speaking of it, in August, they're going to start being in the room with us a lot. So not on this thing where I'm talking at you, but in the room talking with our clients. So you'll see. The representatives, they can do things for you, but even then, it doesn't mean you can just quit. I will say that. The wolf you feed, whether light or dark, truth or lies, the wolf you feed is the one that wins, that you turn into. And the system isn't rigged. It's actually built to divide and devour you. It's built to, pardon me to tell you the daggum truth, but I'm a truth teller. Because, by the way, again, the subtitle of your smart book says, The Brutal Truth. The brutal truth is, the system is designed to get you into this little pit of despair, kill yourself, go away, get off their payroll, so they can then steal from your widow. If you think I'm kidding, talk to widows. See what they've been through. See how much money they're getting paid. See what pain they feel. Guys, I'm going to hold up the good book again. We're supposed to help widows and orphans. I like to help prevent widows and orphans. But you can't quit. You can't. I mean, you can quit. That's a pain in the ass, isn't it? About free will. You have the free will to either continue or quit. And I've been here 6 years talking to you guys, and that's why I have to go to bed and wake up with prayer. Before my feet hit the floor and before my head hits a pillow, I have to do my thing and take my time and get, as a pastor out there said, you gotta refill your cup. So that's what I do, is refill my cup. Hey, take all this crap off me and refill my cup, because I'm gonna pour it out again tomorrow. And I do, and I am. And that's, no matter where I am, you will get me super volcanically fired up if I allow myself to, because I do want to tell you stuff. I got my candle out already. I do want to tell you stuff like, to the tune of $1.2 trillion a year is a year, 1.2 trillion. Slow me down, rewind that back. $1.2 trillion a year is not going where it's supposed to your family, you and your family. You served, you earned. It's honestly, it's quite that simple. It's paperwork between you and the government that has your money. And if you quit, you lose. If you don't quit, you win. The goal is 100% permanent total. That does two things. It is the most money and the most freedom without restriction to your life and livelihood. I have older clients like me and you. I've got younger clients like 18, 19, 20. One goal from older clients: I want to help make you right, not whole. Can't do that. There's other money out there from the past, but we can't get in our little time machine. I got to be real with you. So I want to make it right from here on out. Now the youngsters, I help them be made whole. So I was talking to one of these guys from the Legion yesterday, and I was telling him how I could help him, and his son had just entered the service, just entered the Army. And I was like, man, I can help your son too. Give my card to your son, have your son talk to me, because I can help talk him, put my arm around him and say, hey, here's GI Bill. Here's what you can start doing with that. Because they were asking me a bunch of GI Bill questions. Well, since I'm the dad and he's got GI Bill now, what do I do with it? And I'm like, you have options. So I put my arm around the youngsters and go, all right, here's GI Bill. As you're entering service, you're going to pay out a little bit of money, and then at least that's how it was when I was there. Because I was pre 9/11 and post 9/11 GI Bill. So there was here's GI Bill, here's what you can do with that. Youngster, here's where you can also be cash flow positive by starting to work with your VA home loan. When you move around, you rent that property out, and now you're cash flow positive moving forwards through life. Who the heck out there wouldn't want to hear that? I wanted to hear that. I didn't know anything about it. I'm now 45, and man, nobody told me about that stuff. And here's where you can use other stuff like, and again, I see myself behind. This is why I turn candles on, because you can't see the stuff. I show you guys candles back here, and the thing, again, I hear myself saying it's all through him. All glory is through him. But I show you stuff, truth, and I create stuff to make you aware. Hey guys, this is a pay chart that's real. It's a VA pay chart that obviously I'd create, because the VA doesn't give you pay charts. And then what you notice is it launches over here into the green bubbles. And why are they green? Because in order to maximize each one of those green bubbles, you have to first be 100% permanent and total. And that's massive amounts of money, like 3 levels of money: mid-range money, right now money, mid-range money for your kids in college, long-range death benefit for your family. It's life-changing. That's what nobody tells you out there, guys. Life-changing money, life-changing, although I don't like the word benefit, there's also life-changing money, life-changing benefits. You don't maximize those until you're 100% permanent total like I am. And that's what the government doesn't want to tell you. And you're going to think words like disability, which, by the way, I need to print one of those things out behind me and put disability with the little circle through it, the X through it, because that's such a lie. It's not the truth. The truth is compensation and pension. So you served, you earned. Even if you just started serving, you were still earning stuff. Doesn't mean you earn everything. And like I say, there's different styles of money. I'm not retired, so I don't earn as much as a retired person, but I also didn't serve as long as a retired person. Fair statement. Here in Indiana, we have a reduction, not a removal of property taxes. Okay. But bigger states, Texas, California, Florida, even Nebraska, has a complete removal of property taxes when you get to 100% permanent total. That's significant, to the tune of over $12,000 a year. That's, again, money. There's money you make, and there's money you save. Money you don't have to spend. When you're 100% permanent total like me, it's It's a lot. So the green bubbles back there, I've done a lot of videos on those, so I'm not going to go through every one of them, but you'll see those. Guys, I'm just here to tell you the truth every day and just make you aware. Yes, you have next steps. Your next steps are, as you'll see from, go to my website. I'm going to hold these up every day. Go to my website. I'm going to show these to you real fast. So guys, there's plenty of videos on it. I'm sending you to this document. So go to my website, click on the checklist. Doesn't matter if you're a client of mine or not. Start doing the things on the checklist. And there's front and back of blue links. You guys have asked me to create those blue links. So I answered you. You said, Albert, there's a lot of bad internet out there. Why am I asking the internet to tell me the truth? It's not going to. So how can we get you in rooms to tell you the truth? Front and back. Truth. Brutal truth. Comradery, which is also a word that's in the back of your book. Comradery means we're embracing the suck together. Well, let's do that. Let's embrace the suck together. Here's a checklist. Top 10 things you can do today, checklist. Maybe 8 things for you, maybe 12 things for you. Do something today. All you guys get, all of us get, is today. That is it. Don't do this whole thing of, well, my buddy, he's going to go through and he's going to see what things. No, everybody has to have their own journey. And my final line for you guys from now on is what I wrote down here, because I said it to a wife the other day. Too early doesn't exist. It's never too early to get your money. Too late does exist. I've got a client who's 82. And you think he's 82 and, well, man, Vietnam guy. So you're automatically thinking ground guy, did one tour. Nope. He was in for a long time. He was F4 Phantom pilot. And then I think he got out as 05 or 06. He had a good career. He's 82. There's a huge difference between I'm 45 and he's 82. The youngster 18 and 82. You served, you earned, it's your money. Let's go get it. There is no such thing as too early, but there is too late. See you next time.